Greetings, folks. I'm Kurt Davina, and you're watching the GDC coverage here at GameSpot. I'm Kurt Davina.
I'm Timur Hussain.
Joined by Timur Hussain, but we also have two other special guests here, Jacek and Wojciech, here from Bloober Team to talk about their next game, Cronos. Welcome.
Hello.
And thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to finally, visit your new
office in which you get to spread your horror, your survival horror essence.
Yeah.
It's a huge pleasure to have you guys.
Yeah.
It's a huge pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
How does it feel to finally be out talking about the game?
I try to not, cry today.
Cry.
Okay, it's a big relief that finally we can show something that we made like 4 years or something, and show it to you, to talk about it, show it to people. Yeah, it's exhilarating.
I mean,
and exciting, because normally you watch you from the other side.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important context that you've been working on this game for 4 years, because obviously Bloober Team just put out Silent Hill 2, which was a massive endeavor, I understand, but you did it.
You think so?
Oh, I mean, I think maybe a wink and a handshake. That game kind of came through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. It's not like there was any pressure to take on one.
Everybody thought we can do it.
Yeah.
All the time, and so much support.
Yeah. Nobody thought you would actually sprinkle a little extra something in there.
Yeah.
You just cut it dry, put it out.
But you also come from the medium, right? That was your last major milestone.
Yeah, for us.
Came on to this.
Yeah.
What was the idea coming off that? Where did you want to go, and what was the pathway to Kronos?
All right, so
A lot of them.
Yeah. But that was a point that we knew that our second team, because we have two development teams, we are calling us the first party Bloober, and they were already started working on Silent Hill, and we were finishing medium, and our boss Peter called us and that we need to pitch new game, and he divided us into two teams, and we came with different ideas. It's funny because we landed in the different teams, but at the end we said that, okay, that's cool in this idea and that's cool here, and to be honest, we merged those ideas, and that's how Kronos was born.
This crazy moment, let's merge them. Let's just combine them.
Why not both?
And we landed with the game about the merge,
Yeah, exactly.
It's fascinating considering Bloober Team pre-Silent Hill 2 is a very narrative-driven studio. It's a studio that, is most known at first for kind of like these walking simulators, sort of,
Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Layers of Fear and all that jazz. But now with Silent Hill 2, which is a very action-focused game, Kronos, which I understand is how would you? It's
a bit further.
Talk about that.
How would you describe it?
You should think of games like Resident Evil or Dead Space, So they are, let's say, more action-oriented, but we are not abandoning our storyteller's roots, so you can still expect deep psychological story behind it. So our goal from the very beginning was create a survival horror game, more action-oriented, but still with a great story. And I think that's what Kronos is.
With the medium was let's do old school maybe survival horror, but it was more like a filler story, something, but we fixed cameras, etc. A little maybe love letter because we also a big fan of that time. But with this one, we know, okay, as a Bloober, we want to go further, go into survival horror, go into third person with all the combat and everything. So we creating another love letter to that kind of survival horror.
It's been cool to see each of the Bloober Team's projects feels like a small evolution from the past. It's like walking simulator as mentioned, first person kind of.
Thank you again.
Yeah. And
Strike
then the medium going to third person, and then taking this sort of fixed camera, pseudo fixed camera route. Then to Silent Hill, which is then combat over the shoulder. Now Cronos, which is...
This is where we want to stay, I think. To specialize with that.
But to be honest, we evolved with the company. I joined as a designer, and each game, we made were bigger, better in some point at some point. And to be honest, creating a survival horror was like a dream come true for us. We are both fans of this type of games, also Souls-like games. So we.
You both mentioned smashing two ideas together, which I'm assuming comes with two different points of inspiration, two different points of influences.
But still, in our company, in production, so in the dev part, we are really close to each other. I think maybe similar what I seeing here today.
Yeah.
So we are very sync, like with what we like and how we like it. Not with everything, of course, but yeah, we really grab our attention like easy. Oh, so maybe like this, yeah. But you know, funny thing about Bloober and what we are doing now, when I joined the company, nobody wanted to work there. Even before all the internet don't like us.
What happened?
We change.
Yeah.
We change and we make different games, but at some point there was a decision, okay, let's make horror games. Let's go with that. We have bigger team now and so on. So at some point I saw our new project, there was Layers of Fear, like prototype. And I was like, now we are doing this?
Yeah.
Wow, let's go.
Yeah. That's true. I also been attracted by Layers of Fear to join the company. Yeah. But you have to know that, you know, in Poland, back in the day, there were no like a game design schools or anything. So the companies like Bloober had to learn on their mistakes. Yeah. So the road was bumpy, but like from zero to hero right now. So awesome story.
Yeah, in a way there is something like that. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, you very much put your parts of your own selves and your culture in there, and that seems to be the case with Kronos as well. Can you tell us a little bit more of, like, you know, what inspiration did you take from the world around you, and how did it manifest in this?
Of course, in case of world around us, so the most important inspiration it's Krakow and its district. It's called Nowa Huta, so English it's like New Steelworks.
Yeah.
So in our game we take this New Steelworks district and inspired by heavily on it and bring it to the game. So to use like communist era district combined with strange science fiction to create something special and to show Poland on this scale in the game as nobody before.
Yeah, I think the big inspiration was also Dark.
Of course,
TV
yeah.
series about time travel.
TV show, yeah.
They were also not been afraid to set, you know, this TV series in Germany, like you know, in this fictional European town. So I think that's the big inspiration.
Yeah.
And in terms of movies, The Thing, The Monsters, Annihilation.
Yeah, 12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Not a lot has been seen outside of that cinematic trailer, but there's such
There is something more?
Is there something more?
Who knows?
Is there
There's a
something
game?
that'll be leaking out into our own world? Maybe time travel will be involved. But I mean, I sometimes get grumpy about this idea of like genres, like science fiction genres and fantasy genres, and we see like the two extreme of those all the time. Then of course there's like survival horror, which is a little bit more grounded in a world we can understand. But the thing that's kind of interesting about what your game is like, it's a very grounded sci-fi twist. It's not like entirely a Dead Space twist because it's not space.
Yeah.
Can you talk about a little bit about like finding that like sort of like you put it before the interview, like analog style sort of
Yeah, of
sci-fi?
course. Yeah. So when we try to find what our sci-fi is, we really fast go like, okay, alien movies, like we love them also, like first Star Wars movies, and we start calling them like retrofuturism. Let's do something retrofuturist. And one of our artists came and like, no guys, it's cassette futurism.
Subgenre.
Yeah.
Go deeper.
Go deeper, go there. Yeah. So we go there, and I think our main character, diver in time, traveler. Also, you know, we check a lot of different suits, like from the army, from going to the space, for, you know, pilots, but also alien movie suits and other things. And
Old school diver suit.
Yeah.
A diver suit that isn't for diving.
Yeah.
That's
Or
the
it
time
is
travel.
for
It's the
diving,
time
but
travel.
Diving in time.
diving in
Yeah,
time.
diving through time.
Yeah.
In terms of like a mechanical perspective, what was the objective for you? Because obviously you always evolve a little further, and you also have your inspirations and in the survival horror genre. So when you came to it, what was your kind of intent behind it from a gameplay?
Maybe to not repeat ourselves, like, okay, let's not start only with the story, only with the visuals, because we are good at it.
You want to,
Let's go gameplay first. That was the idea.
Yeah, and that's where the idea for the merge, maybe we can tell a little bit about it, came.
Absolutely.
So in our game, when the monster dies, it can be absorbed by the other monster, which of course then becomes stronger, can also absorb the abilities of its fallen brother or sister. So this was something like the breakthrough, I think, because the game
Make it special.
Yeah, at this point, like, it was different from the other survival horrors, because, you know, run and gun doesn't work here. You have to, you know, think a little bit strategically, you know, who will you drop, how to do it, remove the body, like waste your resources to do it or not. So that was like a game changer for us.
Yeah, and you finish the fight and like, okay, I finished the fight, but now I have like 5 bodies.
Yeah.
If it's a problem, what I should do with them, yeah.
It creates a terrible sense of agency. Like already, survival horror games are in their DNA is to make you feel powerless, but have just a little ounce of feeling like you can overcome a situation. And this mechanic makes, I feel like, just turns it up a notch. Where now it's like you have to almost crowd control the things you've killed
Yeah.
before they can be absorbed and then be turned against you.
I also love this mechanic because even if you're very good in this game, this can happen sometimes any time because of numbers of enemies, scenarios and everything, and then you throw everything, all your tactics through the window. No, I need to stop this, no!
Yeah.
We noticed like playtesters are more afraid that the monsters will emerge than you hit them, for example.
Yeah.
And Jacek is right. If you can make a mistake, we are playing our own game, but we still sometimes, oh no, and then panic happens. Yeah.
And everybody's shouting.
Yeah, something will merge, and you know.
Stop it, stop it.
And there's also that fear. It works really well with the kind of format and the kind of template of these kind of games because you go somewhere and then you often will come back through it. So if you know, oh, I have to go back through this area, and I remember there being 2 enemies that.
Yeah, maybe I left something for myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We love, pushing players to make tough decisions, like waste resources or not, take this or that. Even our crafting system works like the same resources are used to craft ammo and health packs. So
Do you want to heal or you want to fight?
everywhere. Yeah.
There's the one thing like about the game and its aesthetic to its gameplay is like it's an amalgamation of all the things that you seem to love, you seem to be inspired by on genre levels as well.
We and the team, yeah.
The team, it's the whole Bloober team and all that jazz. But
The whole Poland.
all of Poland because it takes place in Poland. But it's an interesting kind of place to be in survival horror, especially for your team, for Bloober, having kind of seen like Resident Evil remake the first Resident Evil back when it did in the GameCube, and then kind of come back with Resident Evil 2, and then it set this like that was really responsible for sort of cementing survival horror today. But now Bloober Team has also kind of entered that by doing Silent Hill 2, and it's interesting to see how those things have kind of inspired one another back and forth. And I was wondering if you could just like talk about that, about being like seeing Capcom do what they did with Resident Evil, now what you did with Silent Hill 2, and kind of like that, that, I don't know, like the push and pull of sort of like taking inspiration from things with the past, the present, all that jazz.
Yeah, of course. And you mentioned Resi, and the current remake of Resi 2 is one of our favorite games, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the best survival horror.
Yep, I agree with that.
10 out of 10, yeah.
So good, so good.
It's crazy. I think nobody thought it will go that way, but also I also didn't thought that I start in the company that nobody wants to work in Poland to create game of my dreams with my friend. Being here.
Yeah. And it's a new IP.
Yeah, that's also
it's new, very important.
That also was important for us. Let's create something new. That's something that maybe can be prolonged. Let's see. We don't know. But let's bring some new ideas to the table.
Yeah, it's a privilege. Yeah, in these times, like hard times for the industry, to make something new. So we feel really, really excited about it.
And everyone trusted you with Silent Hill 2 from the start.
Yeah,
trusting you this.
Yeah. So that was easy to make.
Now the
a
pressure
new
is
IP.
much different when you're giving something that is totally and solely here.
Yeah, we were so happy that Silent Hill 2 landed as it was. Yeah, because seeing our team like working so hard for this time and receiving like feedback on the internet was like.
That wasn't easy time for them and for us also, for the whole company. But seeing the launch and all the reactions everywhere was like.
Yeah, Silent Hill team, you did it.
You did it. You did it. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing more of Kronos.
Is there one last thing, like a kind of a you want to
tease anything?
You want to leave with, or at least saying to the audience or the people who are along the way?
Remember, don't let them merge.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, folks, thank you so much. You've been watching GameSpot's GDC coverage. I was Curtin Davina. I am Curtin Davina. This is Timur Hussein. Jacek and Wojciech, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
soon.